I don't think I can fully just quit it. I don't think I can.
For me, it's over then.
Finally! What took you so long, Annie? Once and for all, we have definitive proof that impregnating as many women as he can around the world is more important to Kyle than his relationship with Annie. But before we get to Kyle and Annie, before we get to his accusations against her, let's start this week's recap with Luke and Madeleine, who are still trying to navigate the aftermath of Madelein's cheating rumour.
I can't believe that she would disrespect me in this way. I feel like this is the ultimate betrayal.
How could you do that to me? Luke asks Madeleine. Having another guy sleep in your bed just isn't acceptable. Take responsibility. And for once, Madeleine actually apologises. Well, kind of. Like, she takes responsibility, she takes accountability for that part. She agrees that she should never have let this other guy sleep in her bed. But she remains adamant that she wasn't naked and she didn't cheat. And the fact that Luke believes these rumours, the fact he's questioning that she may have been naked and she may have got with this other guy, makes Madeleine very angry.
I know cheating of Luke, and if he's loved me, he should be trust me.
And therein lies the massive issue. There's just no trust here. Luke loves her, but he doesn't trust her. Now, I've got to say, I think it's pretty immature of Madeleine that even after multiple cheating rumours have now surfaced, she still struggles to empathise with Luke's perspective. She can't grasp, or at least she pretends that she can't grasp, why these latest rumours have turned her fiancé's world upside down. Why he's upset with her.
Why he need to tell me what to do or what not to do. I don't understand why he think he's my dad or what.
Now, for his part, Luke is still processing the shock of it all, and it's caused him to once again bring back up the prenup discussion.
I need you to be smarter about your decisions. And I need a prenup, especially after now. End of story.
Did Luke and Madeleine just step out of a rave? Are they secret furries? Like, honestly, what's going on here? Have they just been bear hunting together? I've got so many questions. Now, whatever's going on, I think one thing is clear. It's painfully obvious that these two are just on completely different wavelengths. They're in different stages of their lives. Madeleine is stuck in her teenage mindset, and I mean, yes, she's a teen, but you'd hope that the wild partying and men crashing in her bed might stop now that she's engaged. Like, you get the sense that they really need to have a serious discussion, a serious talk about their vastly different lifestyles. The truth is, a prenup isn't going to change how Madeleine behaves. And not for the first time, this discussion is causing her to question their entire relationship.
It's me who don't know if you say will you.
Okay. And I'm done.
Look, at this stage, I'm unsure what they're even fighting to salvage. Their relationship feels so tedious, it's filled with so many toxic arguments. It's emotionally draining just to witness. But when we join them the following day, they've opted to set aside their conflict, at least momentarily, so that they can embark on a boat excursion. And it's whilst on the boat that Madeleine undergoes a surprising change of heart.
I am so sorry how this looked like. You are everything I want.
Wow, hands up if you were expecting that, because I certainly wasn't. It's refreshing to actually see Madeleine take responsibility. She's finally owning her actions. Just cast your mind back for a second to how she reacted when Luke accidentally broke one of her gigantic nails. If that's how angry she got over such a trivial thing, can you imagine how things would have been if roles were reversed? Can you imagine how angry she would have been if Luke had had a woman pass out in his Sean's bed after a wild party. Now, her apology has gone a very long way to appeasing Luke. It seems to have soothed his frustration, but at the same time, it's also caused him to realise he's now adamant he's not gonna get married to Madeleine unless his needs are genuinely addressed.
I don't want to hurt her, but I also don't want her to hurt me. If Madeleine won't sign the prenup, I don't want to get married.
Yikes. I just can't see Madeleine agreeing to a prenup. I'm genuinely unsure if their relationship is strong enough to survive this strain. Now, from one rocky relationship to another. Over in Brazil, we join Shawn and Alliya in the aftermath of the bombshell that Shawn, single-handedly without telling his partner, had been embarking on an open relationship. Now, after raising her concerns with her fiancé, as we join them in this episode over a romantic meal, it seems that Shawn has finally reached a compromise. He's agreed to commit to a monogamous relationship. Kinda.
I'm thankful that Shawn agreed to be monogamous once I moved to the US, but I don't want him bringing people to our lives.
Right, so the agreement only takes effect when she's moved to the States. That means that when Shawn goes back to America, he's free to sleep with whoever he wants.
Shawn is traveling back home tomorrow, and I'm feeling a little uneasy right now.
So, in a bid to further ease her fears, Alliya has a request. She has another boundary she wants to set.
And...
More?
yeah.
Yes, Shawn, she does have more. You're not going to get off that easily. She has another completely rational request. You see, Alliya hates the idea of Shawn sleeping with other people and those people remaining in his life. I don't want you sleeping with your friends, she tells him. Anyone you've slept with, I want you to cut out of your life once we're married.
Like I don't want to go to a dinner and meet one of the person that Shawn's having sex relation. I will always wonder if there is something more happening.
Like, that's perfectly reasonable from Alliya, isn't it? Surely Shawn can understand why Alliya would have that condition. The last thing she'd want, the last thing anyone would want, is to move to a new country and be surrounded by people you're fearful of. People you don't quite trust, people you suspect might want to still hook up with your husband. Yeah, to me that's a completely rational, completely reasonable request from Alliya. But, unfortunately, Shawn doesn't agree. You see, one of the people on his rota, one of the people that he frequently has sex with, is apparently an ex-boyfriend of his. Someone he assures us it's just physical with, there's no lingering feelings. But, he says, I refuse to cut him out of my life.
But if Leah wants me to guarantee that anybody that I've been with won't be a part of our lives, I'm not feeling like I want to sign off on that.
But why, Shawn? Why? It's not too much to ask. It really does feel like Shawn wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants the best of both worlds. Only Alliya isn't gonna put up with that.
I found my voice now, and Shawn can't expect that I will submit for everything that he wants.
Yeah, I'm definitely siding with Alliya on this one. Expecting her to socialise with friends who have just had sex with her husband is just way, way, way too messy. Now, speaking of messy, over in Italy, things have hit a very rough patch between Alex and Adriano. You see, Alex has just dropped a bombshell confession to her cousin about something Adriano told her the day before. And it's safe to say it's causing quite the stir.
Basically, he said that he wouldn't mind having a threesome with me and Tiffany.
Girl.
Oh, hell no.
Girl. You lying.
How awkward must that be for Alex? Can you imagine having to tell your cousin that that's what your partner said? I mean, embarrassing just isn't the word for that. Now, Adriano wants to point out he wants to be absolutely clear. Sleeping with two female cousins is fine. But where he draws the line is inviting his male friend into their bed. Yeah, I just don't know why Alex is still hanging around. Like, as if the constant pressure about threesomes isn't bad enough. To know your partner is sexually interested in your cousin just makes it all feel so icky, doesn't it? Like, it's just painfully obvious. I think we can all see that he completely lacks respect for her. Just the fact that he'd even suggest that is so inappropriate.
It's one thing to be pressuring me to do threesomes, but suggesting that my cousin joins us? How little do you think of me?
Yeah, it's f***ing insane. It's incest levels of f***ed up. Now, given that today is Alex's last day in Italy, Adriano has arranged a boat trip for them all. Alex uses this opportunity to confront Adriano about what he said. But, unfortunately for her, he really doesn't seem apologetic about it at all.
That shouldn't even cross your mind at all. My cousin?
I know, I made a mistake. I'm a human. Everybody made mistakes.
No, sorry Adriano, you can't just dismiss this as a mistake. It's beyond that. It shows such a gross lack of respect for her. Like, if you've got such a warped mind that that's what you're thinking, sorry, but that thought should never escape your lips. You keep that firmly to yourself. Adriano has definitely crossed a line here, and Alex is now seriously reconsidering the future of their relationship. She's finally realised that this just isn't working.
I need to break this cycle. It stops today. I can't do this.
She knows that she deserves better, and she knows she needs to break this crazy cycle. They're clearly not compatible. Adriano shows zero respect for her. I'm just glad she has enough self-respect to know she needs to walk away. So what with her leaving Italy tomorrow, I just really hope that she sticks to her guns.
It's not okay. I'm mad. I'm still mad. I'm gonna be mad. And I'm gonna be mad if she don't break up with his ass real soon.
Now, meanwhile, over in Malta, Ani is still upset with vile Kyle for refusing to bring over the morning after pill.
I think you just don't understand why I'm angry. But how I can trust you, like, even if you cannot even bring me the pill.
Well, there's time to develop that.
Are you kidding me? Kyle is literally the least trustworthy person alive. Honestly, how does he expect this to blossom into something? How does he expect this relationship to develop when he's sneakily against her wishes trying to get her pregnant? Well, in his typical fashion, Kyle decides that now is the perfect opportune moment for him to reveal his STD test results. Maybe that will cheer her up, he hopes.
Oh my God.
You know what that is?
The testing.
Yeah.
For your...
STDs, yeah.
For your diseases.
Yeah, so I got tested last week.
Kyle's the kind of guy that couldn't read a room if there were bright neon lights. His romantic charm is about as magnetic as a post-it note. Seriously, how on earth did he think that Ani would find any comfort in this? The guy's living in a different galaxy.
So what it has to do with me then?
Well, I wanted to show you that I'm responsible in what I do.
Now, understandably, Ani is absolutely shocked. She immediately calls him out. She demands to know, when was the last time you had sex with someone else?
No, because you're doing this so you can go donate and show all the other moms how healthy you are. When was the last time you donated via sex?
Kyle's tactic to try and use his STD test result as a way of making his partner feel more secure about his hobby is utterly bonkers. It's absurd. Sorry, but no woman in their right mind would accept that, would buy that as a legitimate excuse for cheating. Now, when Kyle does eventually come clean, when he does admit to the woman he slept with in Norway 4 months ago, and the woman from the UK less than a month ago, Ani points out to him that she has been nothing but honest.
I always tell you everything. I told you...
You don't tell me everything. I don't think you tell me everything. When's the last time you guys saw each other?
Now, Ani drops the bombshell that she was seeing someone in Malta whilst she and Kyle were doing the long distance thing. But, she insists, I was always honest with you. I always told you about that. But the thing is, Kyle isn't buying it.
Was it like the day before I came out?
Yeah.
You hooked up? What'd you do?
That, says Ani, is complicated. But her body language has guilty written all over it. She's been busted here. She's just pulled out a cheating reverse Uno card of her own. And just when you thought this story couldn't get any stranger, it just continues to get wilder and wilder. It's now Kyle's turn to act offended.
That's bull. If you would have told me that you did that a few days prior, I probably wouldn't have came out.
Now, Ani tries to defend herself. She tries to point out the hypocrisy of what Kyle's saying. You have no right to be annoyed at me, she says. You've been sleeping with multiple people I never even knew about. At least you knew about my other guy. But Kyle doesn't accept her argument.
There's a huge difference between what I did. I don't have an emotional connection with these women. But in this case, she dated this guy. And that's what hurts most.
Now, Ani isn't buying his false indignation. Your only priority, the only thing you're concerned about is your sperm donation, she says. But for the purpose of clarity, just so that we can move past this, tell me, Kyle, she asks, for the sake of our relationship, which in its own right is wild that she's even considering this a relationship, but for the sake of our relationship, she says, will you stop your sperm donation?
I don't think I can fully just quit it. I don't think I can.
For me, it's over then.
Well, I guess that's that then. I can't see how they come back from that. They just don't see eye to eye. Annie's efforts to reason with Kyle are completely in vain. The guy's fixated with his donations. It just seems like a god complex that he has. It's downright obsessive, and he shows no signs of ever giving it up. I think that's as clear-cut a sign as you're ever gonna get, Ani, that you need to move on. Like, the last thing you want is to wind up stuck with this guy. Heaven forbid, stuck having this man's child.
She wants to change too much. And at the end of the day, I think I just can't accept that. I just can't accept it.